everyone's thinking about the impact on jobs, so I would love to hear your perspective.
That's the elephant in the room, isn't it? So I think the leaders need to be more transparent about it. When we say this is an assistant, and I think, as I said, at a higher level, that's true, right? But what people want to understand is, what does it mean for me? And to have a more transparent conversation about it, and a more compassionate conversation about it, because this is about trust. Do people trust their leaders? And I have been part of hundreds of such conversations where people are smart. If you give them the opportunity, you share with them what you are seeing. I'll share maybe two of them to ground the conversation. For example, in one of the process, when AI automated the process, errors disappeared. And there was a 100-people team who was in charge of solving the errors after the fact. And this was a unionized labor. So the union rep came in, and we had a transparent dialogue and say, you cannot create jobs by introducing errors. Those jobs do have to go away. But look, organization has other 1,000 open positions, how we can retrain people, because how do we get them back? But to have that dialogue, and the union agreed and say, yeah, that makes sense, right? You can't create jobs by creating errors. Another example, a large healthcare facility where a single process AI-led process automation saved 4,000 lives. Now think about it. You have an administrative process that cost you 4,000 lives. You should be outraged by it. In what world is that okay? And that's the world we live in. So this conversation is to be about how do we create a better world, and often creating a better world requires you to rearrange the pieces and to do it in a compassionate and a transparent way. I'll just share one thing. Look, if we keep looking for this quarter and this year, sometimes you don't get the future right. And I'll share a very, very humbling experience, but that sets your mind in the right direction. In school, they have a parent day, and I was invited to talk about my daughter's school about what do I do. And so I go there and I talk about all the stuff that you heard. And students are not impressed. And I take it a little personally because it's my job to explain this thing, right? So I try again, and it's a tough crowd. And so somebody asks me and says, so how do you do that today? And I describe them how we work today. And they say, why would you do it that way? And I say, I don't know, we shouldn't be doing it that way. The point I'm making is that disruption of one generation is a common sense for the next. And this is already a common sense for them. The path is clear. We need to find a way.